One of the more controversial aspects of bushcraft is the skill of trapping. And the reason it's so controversial is, of course, because it causes considerable suffering to the animals that you're trying to catch. But in a survival situation, your self-preservation must take precedence. That said, there's no excuse for prolonging the agony of an animal unnecessarily, so the traps I'm going to show you today definitely have to be checked as often as possible in order to make sure that you find out if there's an animal in it as soon as possible and can put them out of their misery. Now, the first thing you need to do if you're planning on learning how to trap is to learn how to track first of all, knowing where the animals are, knowing their habitats and how to find them. Here we have a run, quite possibly a rabbit run. It's running through here to the fields that are just over there. One of the simplest forms of trap is the snare. You can buy them ready-made or you can make them yourself. So as long as you have some stiff brass wire, like this stuff, you can normally get it in hardware stores as picture hanging wire. And what we need to do is to form it into a slipping knot. The snare should be positioned at the most appropriate height for a rabbit. In this case, about 2 to 3 fingers up from the ground. So I'm just going to bend the wire. And I'm going to use a small twig just to support it into that position. Small pieces of wood just to create a diversion, so just to encourage the rabbit or whatever I'm trying to catch to go into that snare. So as our rabbit comes through here, staying low to go under the log, he comes through. Hopefully he hasn't noticed anything's amiss, and his head should go through there, and as his head goes through it'll tighten up. Now the problem with natural cord or any kind of string as opposed to wire is that it doesn't hold its form very well. So we need to cheat a little bit and use some twigs and various other things to hold it in position. So we have our notch here, and this conveniently situated sapling can be pulled down, and we'll attach this like so. So we're just measuring the distance now. We're going to get a bit of tension on here. Now then we need to put our snare into the same position that we had the wire snare in. But to do that, we're going to need to use more little twigs just to support it. So our rabbit comes through here, his head comes through there, and as he starts to struggle, pulls the peg, and that keeps the tension on the string. So now he's got the tension of the sapling pulling against him, so as he struggles, it keeps the tension on the rope and stops it coming off from around his neck. So it's an effective method, tried and tested, an old poacher's trick. This is a method that would be considered poaching under all but the most extreme survival situations. So not something you'd want to do just because you're feeling peckish, but in a real survival situation, a method like this could help to keep you fed.
The A to Z of Bushcraft is now out on DVD. Support the series www.azbushcraft.com.